Good morning, everybody. This is certainly a joyous occasion for us, for everybody that had part in planning this wonderful school. We finally see it to its fruition, and so I'm so happy to have everybody here sharing this moment with us. At this time, I ask that you please rise for the invocation to be given by Reverend Monsignor James Harris, the parochial vicar at St. John Newman Church.
The Lord be with you. The all-knowing God, who is Lord, moves in many ways to deepen that knowledge of him which he completely revealed when for our sake he came to earth. All disciplines, sciences, the arts, and teaching about the world and about human life that we pursue must have as their final purpose to bring us to a knowledge of the truth and to the worship of the true God. Today we ask God's blessing on this center of creativity and imagination, of seeking, learning, and teaching what is true. We ask that those entrusted with the education of the young people here may teach their students how to join the discoveries of human wisdom with the truth of divine reality, so that they will be able to keep the faith and to live it in their lives. We also ask the Lord that the students will find in their teachers the image of God, the true teacher, so that enriched with both human and divine learning, they will in turn be able and ready to enlighten and assist others. Amen.
Amen. Please remain standing for the presentation of colors by the Laredo Independent School District All Junior ROTC under the direction of Sergeant Major Juan Hernandez.
Out. Out. Left, 8. Breathe and alert.
Next, we will have the Pledge of Allegiance that will be led by the grandchildren of Vidal and Lucila Trevino. They are David Trevino, Ariana Trevino, Bella Dancas, Michael David Dancas, and Ava Marie Trevino.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Read, alert. Right, 8. Forward, 5.
Thank you. Please be seated. I just wanted to recognize our choir. That was a BMT choir ensemble. It was directed by Celia Hernandez. We're very proud of them. Here to introduce our elected officials is the LISD Director of Communications, Ms. Veronica Castillo.
Thank you, Dr. Villarreal. What an exciting day this is for Laredo Independent School District and the entire city of Laredo. I'm pleased to introduce our guests, beginning with the LISD Board of Trustees, the President of the Board, the Honorable Jesus Martinez. The Secretary of the Board, the Honorable Ricardo Garza. Our beloved board members, the Honorable Hector J. Noyola. Board member, the Honorable Hector Tito Garcia. We also have some elected officials, former Webb County Judge Judy Gutierrez. Representing the city of Laredo, we have the Honorable Juan Narvaez, City Council Member and Mayor Pro Tem. The Honorable Esteban Rangel Jr., Laredo City Council Member. Webb County Judge, the Honorable Tano Tijerina. So honored to have also former board members in our presence. The Honorable Webb County Judge Mercurio Martinez. The Honorable Mr. George Beckelheimer. I saw Mr. Amber Yuri here. I think he and his wife are celebrating 55 years of marriage today. Congratulations. Dr. Joaquin Cigarroa. I think we also spotted former Webb County Attorney Ana Cavazos Ramirez. The architect who designed this beautiful campus, Mr. Frank Rothnowski and his wife Viviana Rothnowski. Representing Leindecker Construction, who built this campus, Mr. Paul Leindecker. Thank you to everybody for attending this morning.
Thank you. At this time, I would just like to say a few words because I'm so happy and so thrilled that we have this fantastically beautiful building. This beautiful school is the fruit of an idea inspired by an imaginative and ahead of his time thinker. The Vidal M. Trevino School of Communications and Fine Arts was a brainchild of a visionary, Mr. Vidal M. Trevino, who recognized and valued the talents of the children of this community. The original school opened its doors in the fall of 1993, and it was one of the first schools of its kind. And we're very proud that it's still functioning and doing so great things. It was founded on the conviction that academics and the arts are equally important to students' development and achievement. 22 years later, this school has continued to thrive and achieve significant successes, not only in the academics, but in the creative and artistic realms as well. The uniqueness of this school lies in the way the arts are integrated throughout the academic curriculum, motivating students with a variety of learning styles that maximize student engagement. The Vidal M. Trevino School is committed to providing a rigorous academic and art education that embraces the three strands of the 21st century, being globalization, advanced technologies, and building relationships. VMT students are highly successful in both areas, garnering top scores in their state exam and performance competitions. This is in large part due to the cross-curricular infusion of innovation and creativity in the everyday learning experience and the team approach to teaching and learning that is the norm at VMT. Central to this life-changing experience is a strong and all-encompassing character education program that is imbued in throughout the student's 4-year stay at VMT. VMT gives students hope for the future. Again, thank you for being here. At this time, I'm going to call on our speakers. Speaking on behalf of the LISD Board of Trustees is a remarkable community and business leader, a veteran, educator with degrees in science education, school administration, counseling, and psychology. Please help me welcome the President of the LISD Board, the Honorable Mr. Jesus Martinez.
Thank you very much. On behalf of the board, we're very proud of having this achievement for the district. This is my New York jacket, by the way. I like to go to the theater very much. And again, Mr. Trevino was motivated because he loves the arts. He loves the theater. And this was his main motivation. I love the theater too. Whenever we go to New York, we go to the theater every evening we can. And so this is the main reason why I was motivated for him to do this. Because the theater is a wonderful experience, it's good for the academics, and he wanted the Laredoans in our district to take advantage and learn and experience the wonderfulness of being in the theater. So that was the motivation, and it's wonderful that we have the, this art school. Now, it is a challenge for our students, for our staff, for our administration to bring out the artistic value in each of the kids that come to this school. This school was made to make artistas, to make performers, to make directors here. We have some kids in Laredo that have made it. My son Victor Martinez has made a couple of movies here in town. He went through Nixon. Mr. Myers' son, Tony Myers, he has written several books. He lives in Los Angeles, in Hollywood. So there is a lot of, and of course there's many more that we go through, and we go into the arts, performing arts. And this is the challenge that I have, that this school concentrates on getting top kids or top persons that will go into the arts in the future, that will go and become performers, that will go and become dancers of the best quality. And this is what I wish we could do here as much as we can. Maybe we can have a certificate of artistic value in the kids that come out, that graduate from here, with classes in dance, classes in music, classes in performing arts, and in acting also. We need to have musicals, at least one musical a year here. We need to have grand shows in the Civic Center, where the students will come out and have a wonderful, wonderful experience and bring it to us so we can enjoy it. So the challenge for the staff and the administration of the school is to produce quality artists, produce students that will enjoy being up there as artists, performers in our community and of the world, okay, not only here. So with those words, congratulations again to the staff and the kids that are here, and to the board for bringing this about, because we had to, go through it and talk about it and bring it about as best we could. So we did do as we could. So now the challenge is on the staff to do that for our kids. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Martinez, for your service to this community. Before I call on our next speaker, I'd like to recognize a friend of VMT, a very special friend of VMT, and also happens to be the Webb County District Attorney, the Honorable Isidro Chilo Alanis. Where are you, Mr. Alanis? Oh, I saw you. Oh, there he is in the back. Thank you for being here today. All right. I would like to invite you also, if you have a chance, to get into our website and read. We asked our alumni to submit information as to the successes in the arts. And you'd be surprised how many students that have gone through VMT have made it. There are world-renowned musicians, they're dancers, they're touring all over. We are so proud of them, and I'm happy to say that you're going to see some of these performances. It's very difficult to get people that are at that level to come and perform, just to call them out of the blue, because they are professionals, they are committed, they have contracts, but we have many, many success stories, filmmakers, writers, anchor people in New York, everywhere. Our kids that have graduated, that have come through VMT, have made a lot of success in their careers. So I'm very proud of that. Next, I would like to call on our judge, Edina. I know you're here. I saw you somewhere. Thank you, Judge.
Caught me by surprise. But I will say this, I stand on sacred ground, not just because this was a church, but because this is my alma mater. Yeah! Proud product of LISD, very, very proud. Graduated in 1992, it's been a while ago. My grandparents' house was right across the street, right there, actually on Lion Street. I used to eat lunch there every day. Lived a couple of blocks away, so very much familiar with this territory. I want to congratulate, first of all, everyone. LISD, such a beautiful campus. Literally, I saw the renderings, the drawings, and then when you start seeing it, live, when you start seeing it in front of you, the buildings, it's in awe with what you see, because it's been a collaboration of many, many people. And thanks to everyone, thanks to LISD and what you all have done. It just brings not only this community, but this neighborhood. It just beautifies it. And so congratulations to the Trevino, to the Vidal M. Trevino. You know, I didn't get the pleasure of meeting the gentleman, but I can tell you that my family holds him in high regards. And to the family, congratulations, because I hear that he was a wonderful man, and I hear that he worked really, really hard. And so you all carry a legacy that you all should be very, very proud of. And with that said, is that I, on the other hand, did not get the fine arts part of my brain working very, very well. My wife doesn't even allow me to sing, not even in the shower. So that kind of gives you an idea. Now, I could throw a baseball. I didn't know which one, but yeah, one of those arms I could. But it brings great joy to me to see everyone here, this community here. Praise God. Wonderful job. Great job. And I see your students flourishing. And this is what this community needs. Not only to flourish, but to bring back prosperity and to bring back everyone back into Webb County, into Laredo, because we are the #1 county in the state of Texas. God bless you, and God bless America.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, Judge. The Honorable Mayor Pete Saenz is traveling today, so he wasn't able to be here. However, our Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Juan Narvaez, City Councilman for District 4, brings us greetings on behalf of the City of Laredo.
Well, as a former graduate of J.W. Nixon, as you know, I'm wearing green and gold. This school means a lot to me because basically I got my education in public education. And like the county judge says, education is important to know people. And I owe my success to public education. I'm very proud to be here this morning honoring Mr. Vidal Trevino. I did have the honor of meeting him when I was at Christian J back in the 7th grade. And just like Mr. County Judge said, he was a fine man, very knowledgeable person. And it's so sad that he's not here today, present, to see what his dreams were. And just like dreams were made, I never dreamed that I was going to be here standing before you, representing the city and speaking to you on behalf of the LISD. Again, it's a great honor to be here with you this morning. And congratulations to the board of LISD and to the family of Vidal M. Trevino. Thank you.
Thank you. I would like to recognize a former board member that is with us here today, and that's Mr. Rogelio Rios. Mr. Rogelio Rios, thank you for being here. Thank you, Mayor Pro Tem, Mr. Narvaez, and I'm here to make a special presentation, and I don't know if the Judy Zaffirini representative is here. If you are, would you please step forward? If not, I know they said they were going to be here, but if they're not here, we'll receive them when they get here. Now it is an honor to introduce our next speaker, a man who sets high standards for himself and the 24,000 students of LISD, our superintendent, Dr. Marcus Nelson, and a key supporter of VMT. We love you, Dr. Nelson.
Thank you. Good morning to our Board of Trustees, Honorable County Judge, members of the City Council, the family of Vidal M. Trevino, all the special guests and friends that are here. You know, I have some brief comments that I would like to make, but I would like to share my time with, probably with all due respect, we had a trustee, really we had two trustees that really led this project. One of them, who's here with his lovely wife Priscilla, is Mr. George M. Beckelheimer. He's been talking about this day to me since 2009. But the person I would like to invite up to really share a few comments represents this area, in addition to Mr. Garza. But please help me welcome the past president of the board, Mr. Hector Tito Garcia, say a few words.
Thank you very much, and I'll keep this very brief. 2 years ago, I stood as the president representing the rest of the board. I stood across the street when we did a groundbreaking, and I promised all of you that we would listen to the administration, that we would listen to the family, that we would listen to all the teachers, get everybody's idea and dream, and build what Mr. T really wanted. I've had conversation with Mina Ramirez and with several of his friends on what his vision was for Laredo. And I never in 100 years would think I'd be standing here saying we're going to open up the school of his dream. I challenge all of you, when you walk through the school, and at the end of your tour, you're going to come back and say, wow, this is unbelievable. Because the dream of Mr. T is in every room that you're going to enter. The dream that he had for every child. Our board really believes that our kids deserve the best, and the best we gave them. I know that my former board member, Mr. Beckelheimer, was pushing this. I think it was the last day before the day before the election. We had the last meeting to make sure that we had everything in place for the school. It came in under budget. The contractor did an outstanding job. Our architect did an outstanding job. Thank you to Linedecker, thank you Doronowski. I want to thank the team that made sure that everything was going good. But it's unbelievable. And last night when I was thinking about it, I said, what am I going to say to Mr. Trevino? I knew him as Mr. T. I grew up with knowing the family very well, and they're actually my next-door neighbors. It's unbelievable, and you know what, I was sharing some tears last night just thinking that what he wanted, again, is in every single room that you're going to visit today. You're going to see why his vision, put up a palace like this, was part of his vision for many years, and from where they came, where they were at, to where they are now. It's unbelievable. Thank you very much for being part of our dream, being part of our goal, and it's because of all of you that this building is up. Thank you.
You know, I never had the pleasure of meeting Mr. T, but I have become what I would call good friends with the family. I knew his beautiful wife very well. She is someone who was in my balcony, so to speak, not literally, but read the book called Balcony People. She is a person that she just understood the complexities of the position that I serve in a way that very few people understood. In my culture, you know, I too, as I've gotten to know the family and people that have known Mr. T, I always thought that that was kind of interesting when they referred to him as that. Because in my culture, Mr. T is a black guy, has mohawk, a bunch of gold chains, and all the wonderful things Bobby's told me about his dad. He never mentioned any of those characteristics. But I just would close by saying how honored I am to serve as superintendent in what's such a wonderful community. And the few times a year I get to fly out of the Laredo International Airport, one of my favorite things to do is as you're departing or preparing to land, you can look down and see an overview of the city. And I would say that this school is built right where it needs to be, because this is like the heartbeat of the city. It is part of our past and our tradition that must be perpetuated into future generations. And I'll close by saying that I too would like to thank the architects, I would like to thank the contractors, I would like to thank all of the faculty and staff for delivering on Mr. T's promise, for bringing to life his vision. And there have been so many thousands of students that have walked the halls of the VMT Magnet School, and I know I consider it an honor and privilege to serve those children and the teachers that bring them a quality instructional plan every day. I'll leave you with this. You know, I know the family, like I said, and I know that this is a very special time for them. I want to be clear that as proud as we are of this building, we're not finished yet. We really are committed to making sure that this project is perfect. And when I say perfect, you can go look it up, what I mean. I mean, when we put the final touches on this place, it'll be something that it'll just make us all proud. And it's important that we do our business that way. You know, I had the liberty of dedicating Shirley Field a few years ago. And it was really one of my first construction projects as superintendent here in Laredo. And the most special moment in my career, 7 years in Laredo, occurred with me and Vidal M. Trevino's son, Bobby Trevino. We were standing on the track the night of the Martin Nixon game. And, you know, it was a Friday. We had a busy week. And I was tired. And Bobby walked up to me after we did all the ribbon cutting and the fanfare. And you know their family, you know they're very steep in their beliefs. And he looked at me and he said, it was just he and I. Bobby said, thank you for this Shirley Field. He said, my mom and dad spent countless numbers of years in this stadium. And then he looked at me and he said, you know, I'm very close to my parents, and they're here tonight. I can feel them here. And he started to cry. So I'm sitting in the middle of Shirley Field. I'm starting to cry. And I bring up that story, Bobby, because it's one of the most special moments I've had here in Laredo. And I guarantee you, your beloved father and your mother, they're here with us here today. and this is important to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nelson. At this time, I would like to invite a graduate of Nixon High School. It is my honor and pleasure to introduce Mr. David Vidal Trevino. You're going to make me cry. No more tears. Mr. David Trevino, welcome, sir.
Good morning. I want to thank everybody who stepped up here a little while ago and kept their comments brief, because I'm going to be here for about 45 minutes. Just like my dad. Good morning. What a beautiful day God has given us today, and I'm happy that everyone is here. Dr. Nelson, Mr. Martinez, Judge Edina, all other distinguished and honored guests, our family, Dr. Villarreal. It's my distinct honor to be speaking to all of you here today on behalf of my family. Our father loved the arts. He never forgot that President Kennedy in 1963 made clear the need for a nation to represent itself not only through its strength, but through its art. Dad loved the field of education, and Dad had a very special place in his heart for the arts. The last 10 to 15 school years of his tenure as superintendent always began by putting together these big stage musical productions to kick off LISD's general in-service meetings. Those of you who were here then remember those days. And Dad loved being front and center, and he loved being a part of it. More than that, he loved seeing all of the employees who performed, shine, and show off their talents. About 25 years ago, Dad dreamed of a school for students who were hard workers, self-starters, and achievers who stood out above the rest with their love for academics, all forms of music, dance, sculpting, painting, the theater, the printed and electronic media, for those with a thirst for knowledge and ability to debate and communicate. That dream became his vision, a vision of creating a passageway for LISD students to continue in their journey for making the most of their God-given talents and abilities. 21 years ago, April the 8th, 1994 to be exact, Dad's dream, Dad's vision became a reality. He was so happy when this school officially opened, and happy that the governor of Texas, Ann Richards, came to the dedication back in 1994. It's not often that a governor travels to a public school dedication, but she did because of her close friendship with Dad, and because she knew that this was a school that was one of the first of its kind. LISD continues to demonstrate a strong support for the educational system that serves the children in our community. And students attending the Vidal M. Trevino School of Communications and Fine Arts will have access to a comprehensive education that is supported by state-of-the-art technology, equipment, and other resources in a beautifully modern facility that is designed to best address the various talents and aspirations of students in a 21st century learning community. This very distinct campus will continue to truly shine as a gem in our community, and in the Heights neighborhood. We're just blocks away from here. Dad and Mom lived for over 50 years, and where my siblings and I attended public schools. These students of LISD 3 high schools that will be absorbed into the VNT school will be the ultimate beneficiaries of this magnificent, beautiful facility for many years to come. Excuse me, and that's the reason why we're here today. Today's grand opening event is a symbolic kickoff to an extensive and complex construction process. Over the past 2 years, we have seen many physical changes to the properties here, and the project has finally become real. It is also very fitting that this beautiful standalone school is across the street from J.W. Nixon High School. Our father had a very treasured loyal, and devoted relationship to Bill Nixon and saw him both as his mentor and as a second father. I had the pleasure at the invitation of Dr. Nelson to observe this project firsthand as it developed, commencing with the school's community planning meetings more than 4 years ago to our grand opening today from two different perspectives, as a son of Vidal M. Trevino and as a citizen of Laredo. I have watched the excitement and anticipation generated by the administrators, the teachers, the students, their parents, as well as the community grow over the course of the design of the project, culminating in today's remarkable event. To everyone at the VNT School, our family sincerely and greatly appreciates your dedication to your profession, to your areas of instruction, and to the ultimate goal in providing the best learning environment and instructional tools for the students. You know, in just a little while, I think you're going to be hearing from a former VNT student, Dr. Hector Agüero. He and I have never personally met, but we did exchange an email several years ago when he was teaching at the high school for the performing and visual arts in Houston. His story is one of hundreds of positive VNT stories, and he is also living proof that the Vidal M. Trevino School of Communications and Fine Arts is one of Laredo's prized possessions. There are no words to adequately express the sense of gratitude and admiration our family has for Marcus Nelson. Dr. Nelson, thank you for providing the focus, the leadership, and the direction that was necessary to accomplish this goal. Our family is also especially grateful to recent school board presidents George Buckelheimer and Tito Garcia in doing all that they did to keep Dad's vision and Dad's dream alive. To current President Jesus Martinez and the entire LISD board, past and present, thank you for your unwavering assistance through this process, for your guidance and belief in this project. Un fuerte abrazo to Homero Pais. Thank you, Homero, and all the LISD staff that graciously supported this project through all its phases, who worked countless hours, conducted extensive reviews, and provided oversight to the project. Special thanks to the school's redesigned Community Advisory Committee, the redesigned faculty advisory members that championed this project as the crowning achievement to our educational program and infrastructure. They all worked against tight time frames and many obstacles to be here today. Our family also extends a sincere thank you to Gary and Paul Leindecker and everyone at Leindecker Construction, as well as to Frank and Viviana, who went above and beyond to exceed our expectations. I would be remiss if I didn't extend a very, very personal thank you to Greg Melendez. Greg is the project manager for Leindecker Construction and oversaw the construction. Greg is a childhood friend of mine, and we have remained very close friends for over the past 50 years. My dad loved all of my friends and all of my siblings' friends as if they were their own kids. Dad had a newfound love for Greg and respect for him when they had an opportunity to work together in the 80s and 90s. Greg, I just want you to know that I had a dream last night, and Dad told me that you've got 18 days to make sure that this thing is ready. If you don't, you know what's going to happen. Thank you, David. Lastly, a very special thank you to former VNT directors Roberto Boteo, John Cox, Ernesto Guajardo, Blas A. Martinez, Jose Cerda, and a very special heartfelt thanks to Dr. Villarreal and all the former and current staff at the Vidal M. Trevino School of Communications and Fine Arts for a job well done. I know, as Marcus mentioned, Dad and Mom are definitely here with us today. They've got the biggest smiles on their faces, and I also know that they're happy that the dance center is named after Hector and Alta, two very close friends of the family. My brothers and sisters and I and our families thank all of our friends and relatives, those who live in Laredo and those who traveled here, for joining us today. And my tia Zulema, Dad's sister, we're happy that she's here. Thank you very much. It means the world to us. On behalf of the Vidal M. Trevino family, congratulations to everyone at LISD for a job well done.
Thank you very much. At this time, I would like to recognize our low brass ensemble under the direction of Mr. John Ryman. At this time, I'm going to ask very special people to come forward. Dr. Nelson, members of the Trevino family, to join us for the unveiling. Please join us here on the steps of the VMT Brass Ensemble, directed by John Ryman. Also, I'd like to share with you that we're debuting a song entitled Magnet Overture, composed by for our school by the LPO composer in residence, Dr. David Manuel Garcia. Thank you, Dr. Garcia.